Hey guys, it's Seren back with another video. This video is going to be about the Fox hit show Empire. I don't know how many of you guys watch Empire. My husband and I don't have cable, but we watch it. We are fucking obsessed with it. We watch it on Apple TV using the Fox app, and we just fucking are literally obsessed. Like anytime we have free time, my husband's always like, "You want to watch Empire? You want to watch Empire? You want to watch Empire?" So the new Empire is coming on tonight, Wednesday. And I wanted to talk about some stuff that happened in the last episode that I really don't see a lot of people talking about, which I find to be really interesting. So there are going to be some spoilers ahead. So for those of you that didn't see last week's episode and want to watch it before you watch tonight's or whatever, you might want to turn this video off. I'm a huge, pop culture kind of junkie. We try to see movies. We try to watch TV. I read a lot. I like knowing, what's going on because I feel like that keeps me informed. And especially when it comes to diversity and things like that, I can't sit here and complain about lack of diversity when I'm not consuming, and I'm one of those type of people that likes to read reviews. I watch a movie, I watch a show, I go on Wikipedia, I read about the actors, I read about the director, the producers, the writers. I'll devour reviews, AV Club, IGN, Glamour does some pretty good reviews. But, as I've kind of become more and more aware, it's gotten harder for me to read a lot of reviews because most of the reviews are written by white people. And people say all the time, there's two Americas and we live in two different worlds and, things like that when it comes to race. But it's really true, especially not just in terms of the serious racial concepts, but the pop culture stuff as well. White people are different. They don't consume media the same way. And especially when you have a show like Empire, which is being produced by Lee Daniels and covers a lot of really heavy black topics and revolves around a black family, there's a lot of cultural illiteracy, which I talk about in other videos, and a lot of a disconnect, from when the show first started coming on and you had these reviewers that week after week were shocked and amazed at the numbers and at the ratings. They're not shocked and amazed when an all-white show like fucking Mad Men does well. There's no shock and awe and amazement. But when an all-black show, which is about, let's just call him a hip-hop family, does well, there's all this shock. And again, surprise hit Empire increases its ratings and we've never heard of this and we're so shocked and we don't know why people are watching it. It's they're watching it because the majority of fucking TV watchers are black people and other POC. Actually, the stats are there, and we're sick and tired of looking at white people all the time. That's why every show that has a black lead does well. Blackish, Scandal, Being Mary Jane, How to Get Away with Murder, Empire, and the same thing with movies. Best Man Holiday, these movies are hits and they make these movies and these TV shows are hits and they make a lot of money, and these white reviewers are left surprised, scratching their heads every single time. So in last week's episode of Empire, I went to a pretty well-known site that reviews television shows and movies. I'm not going to say which one because I'm not going to put them on blast like that. But I went to a pretty well-known site and they were talking about last week's episode and they were talking about how they felt like the episode didn't make sense. They said, one thing that we felt like came completely out of left field. It seems like the writers are just, dropping bombs out of nowhere. Was when Lucius said that he would never give the company over to Andre because Andre has a white wife. That came out of nowhere. We've never seen any, hints of animosity between Rhonda, that's the name of his white wife, between Rhonda and Lucius, and we don't understand where this came from. And then there's all these white people talking in the comment section about, yeah, I didn't get that either. I felt like the writers just made that up just to create conflict because it didn't make any sense. Rhonda and Lucius have always seemed like they were on good terms. And Kitty, Boo Boo Kitty, who's his fiance, Anika. And Kitty is half white, so like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Comment after comment after comment of white people saying that they don't understand. And the reviewer saying that they felt like that was like a plot device that came out of nowhere because we've never seen Lucius have any type of animosity towards Rhonda. And I'm sitting here and I'm reading this and I'm just like, white people are so fucking stupid. White people are like really fucking stupid. Like they really live in another world for real. Like they are so confused right now because it's not about... My husband and I loved that episode, and we fucking stood up and cheered when we saw that scene. My best friend watched the show last week. She texted me Thursday morning, like, did you watch Empire last night? I was like, no. She was like, well, you're gonna have to watch it because Lucius gives Andre this speech that somebody needs to give to Kanye. The whole speech... Okay, the whole background of the story was that, you know, they're trying to take the company public, the record label and stuff. They're trying to take the company public. They're trying to get this IPO. Lucius is sick. He has ALS. And they're trying to figure out who's going to take over the company after he dies out of his 3 sons and his estranged ex-wife who was in prison for the last 17 years. And now he's engaged to somebody else, Boo Boo Kitty. Anyway, so Andre and his white wife have been trying to pit everybody against each other so that they can come out on top. It's all very Shakespearean. And I heard that the whole thing is based off of a play, I believe, called Lion in Winter. So Andre and his white wife are pitting everybody against each other so that they can come out on top. Andre is also conspiring with his father's, like, right-hand man to, like, again, get on top. So they wanted to vote to make him, I can't think of the fucking term right now, but like the backup CEO. What is that shit called? Is that the COO? Something like that. And when it came time to vote, when it came time for the company board to vote on it, Lucius voted no. So Andre's not going to become, we'll just keep saying the COO. So Andre is not going to become the COO. When Andre asked him why later on, he goes, because I can't trust you. First of all, Lucius is a motherfucking snake, okay? A snake knows a snake. You can't snake a snake. You can't play a player. You can't pimp a pimp. Like, Lucius is a snake-ass nigga, and he knows that Andre and his white wife are also snakes and fucking schemers, okay? So them thinking they were going to get over on Lucius was dumb from jump, and I'm glad they showed that they not slick. Then Then Lucius gave Andre this whole long speech about, I can't trust you. I know you're a fucking snake. You're my oldest son. Like, I know you. And I knew I couldn't trust you from the day you brought home that white girl. Now, this is something that we've actually seen brought up in the show before in the pilot episode when Cookie gets out of jail and she's having drinks with Andre and she says, why did you marry that white girl? And he goes, oh, we met at college and she's brilliant and, they went to business school together and this and that. And Cookie goes, yeah, they always are, even when they ain't. Which is a clear, what is the word I want? A clear indication of the way, white people versus black people, white girls versus black girls are seen in society. White girls are seen as brilliant, they're smart, they're talented, just like we saw in Scandal. How hard do you have to work? What do you have to do? I have to work twice as hard for half of what they got. Just like Omarosa told Bethany the cupcake bitch, you get to be mediocre and still get all this shit handed to you just because you're white. So when Lucius says to Andre, I knew I couldn't trust you as soon as you brought that white girl home, Andre's like, oh, what are you talking about? And blah, blah, blah. And Lucius goes, you brought that white girl in here because, your whole life you've wanted some type of approval and acceptance from these white people. Your whole life. And Andre goes, that's what the real issue is. I don't fit into this family because I don't have any talent instead of, nurturing musical talent. Even though we've seen in flashbacks that Andre did used to sing and did, used to have some type of musical talent before Cookie went to jail. He says, I never had any type of musical talent, and that made me the oddball of the family. I decided to go to college, and I decided to get my business degree, and, you know, I decided to, you know, have a normal life, and, you know, normal, by normal, we mean white, because everybody knows that in this country, normal is fucking a synonym for white, and the rest of us are other, are abnormal, are unusual. You know, I wanted a normal life, and I went to college, and I got my degree, and I got my business degree, and I married Rhonda. And Lucius goes, that's exactly the problem. You chasing after this, you know, white idea, this white concept of normality, and they're never gonna accept you. You black, nigga, you a nigga. Like, they never gonna accept you. And I knew as soon as you brought that white girl home that you did not care about this family. And I will never leave my company to you. And it was so ironic because me and my husband were literally just the other day talking about Master P. For those of you who don't know, Master P is a rapper. He started the No Limit Records label. He had Silk the Shocker. He had his son, Little Romeo. He was on Dancing with the Stars. He originally went bankrupt, and then he started a new business, and he owns a television channel. It's called like BBT, Better Black Television. It comes on the DirecTV cable network, and now he's gotten to the point where he's worth like, I want to say between like 350 and 400 or 500 million dollars. Like, he's built an empire. Like, he's worth a lot of money. His son, Little Romeo, is dating the blandest, whitest, blondest Becky you can ever think of. He fucking has this little white girl following him around. He's clearly one of those niggas that thinks that since his dad got money, you know, he's like a T.I. coon ass. I use big words, I don't know what they mean, and I want to act like I'm doing big things with my white bitch, you know, type shit. And it's like when Master P dies, right, and Little Romeo inherits that business worth $500 million, half of that is going to go to that white girl, right? Which sucks, because it's like white people don't need anything else. Your father, you know, he built a powerful empire, you know, of black owned businesses, this TV channel, and, you know, this record label, and this and that. And you're going to give half of that to this white girl for what? Like, these white people don't need it. They don't need it. We need it. Our community needs it. Keep it within the community. Keep it within the community. Like, fucking get you a nice black girl, have some nice black kids, and keep that wealth within the community. Why do you have to give half of that back to these white people? Because you want to go sit at their table. Because you want to go be one of them. That is what that speech and Empire was all about. So when I read these white reviewers and these white commenters that are like, well, I don't understand because we've never seen any animosity between Lucius and Rhonda, and why does it matter that she's white? It's not about Rhonda personally. That's the thing with white people. They take everything so personally. They think everything is about them personally, individually. No, it's not about her personally. He could love her, okay? He could love her. I'm actually quite fond of her because she's a snake and Andre's a snake, and both of them together is just two motherfucking snakes in the goddamn grass. But she's still white. You have a black man, Lucius Lyon, who built this empire, black-owned business for his family. The whole thing revolves around his black family. He doesn't want to give that away, half of it, to your white wife and her white family. He wants to keep it in the black community because we need it. They don't. You understand what I'm saying? And you have people that, since they're white, they cannot grasp this concept. They don't get it. They think this is about him not personally liking Rhonda, and that's not what it's about. And then you have people that are like, and I don't understand because Boo Boo Kitty is half white, so why would he like dislike white people? It's like, okay, but Boo Boo Kitty is half white, but guess what? Her father's white, her mother's black, and she looks black. Like, she is not white. Okay, half white and full white are not the same thing. If you were half white back in slavery days, guess what? Your ass was still a slave. Maybe you were up in the house instead of in the field, but your ass was still a slave, you know? One drop rule, paper bag test, you know? White passing versus not passing, which I have a whole video about. If you're passing, that's one thing. If you're not passing, which Boo Boo Kitty is not, that's something totally different. Up until they showed her white father 6 episodes in, nobody had any idea that Boo Boo Kitty was white. We just thought she was a light-skinned black chick, you know? So it's like, that is not comparable. Like I said, people love to like pull out these white card, black card. Oh, but Boo Boo Kitty is half white. Okay, and she's still black. Rhonda's still white. He still doesn't want to put his black-owned business, his empire, in the hands of this white girl. And that's something that a lot of people within the black community talk about and think about, especially when we have our own businesses and we have our own money and we're talking about, stimulating our black economy and economic revolutions and things like that. And then you have people that want to just give their black-owned businesses and their millions away to these white people, be it through relationships, marriages, selling their business for money. It's all about selling and selling out. That's all that is about. Wanting to sit at your colonizer's table, Kanye. Wanting to be accepted by white people, Kanye. Wanting to feel like you got this white girl on your arm so you're doing better than the rest of us, Kanye, Little Romeo. And not owning up to the fact that you're black. You are black. You're black. You're black. Deal with it. And this is why I be feeling like I can't read reviews anymore. The only review that I really, really like is Phoebe Robinson, black girl that reviews for Glamour. Her reviews are really good. I love her Orange is the New Black reviews, but she has a lot of stuff going on in her career. She's writing for this new talk show that's coming on Views, and she's got a podcast, and she hasn't reviewed anything in the last couple months on Glamour. They're barely reviewing Empire. They have this white girl that writes 1 or 2 paragraphs, and no one is talking about, the speech and what he said. And I think it's really, really, really important. Like, it's super important. So these are just my thoughts on it. I hope they expand some more on that with tonight's episode. Like I said, since we're watching it on the Fox app, we're not going to see it until tomorrow, Thursday. But hopefully, we see some more about this whole Andre having a white wife thing. Because the storyline's good. The show's amazing. Watch it. Don't read reviews by white people that don't understand it and that think it's over the top and this and that, because they just don't fucking get it. They don't get it. They don't get it. They don't understand us. So that's it. Quick little video about Empire. Ever since I watched it, I wanted to make this video. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Food for thought as always. Peace.